Welcome to day one of September Challenge. I really want to start out week one with talking about the breath. When I started yoga, I knew there was something like yoga breathing. It really took me a long time to understand and be able to verbalize what yoga breath is. So firstly, I want to start out by saying it depends, because there's lots of different breathing tactics and breathing systems. But I really want to start out with this really foundation of what a healthy breath is. And it really is not just a yoga breath. You should take time every day to grow, focus, nourish a healthy breath. So there are three aspects to this foundation breathing in yoga. And that is breathe like a balloon, breathe through your nose, and slow down your breath. So I want to go into a little bit of detail with this. And don't worry, we will start breathing soon. Breathe like a balloon. So often we are like caught here in the front of our chest, especially if we're stressed. We breathe like this, not necessarily that quick, but the breath is caught up here. And what happens is when our breath is caught up here, the movement of our breath up here stimulates a big nerve in our body called the vagus nerve, which sends a signal up to our brain to switch on the sympathetic nervous system. Now, the sympathetic part of your nervous system is the one that it's a fight or flight mode. So that's the one that you need when it's a zombie apocalypse, which most days are not. And it means that when you breathe up here, you're perpetualizing a state of stress. What we want to do, we want to move the breath not just down here, but also out into all sides. So imagine this is why I call it balloon breath. Imagine a balloon that you're blowing air into. It doesn't just go out here, it goes out, and then you let the air out. This is how a balloon goes. We want our torso to do the same. So number one, we want the breath to expand all the way into your lower belly. But we also want it to expand out to the side and expand into the back. And I find often if we just explain to people or breathe into your belly, what happens is they go like this. Like this, you can't expand backwards. So you make sure that you are sitting up nice and tall. I'm going to give you a little tip in a second. So balloon breath. What happens when we start moving the belly with the breathing is that as we exhale, and it's actually an exhale movement, it's moving the belly back in, we stimulate the vagus nerve again. That sends a signal up to our brain to switch on the parasympathetic nervous system. And the parasympathetic nervous system, that is the calm, the rest, the digest your food. So think about it. I just given you the biggest body hack you are ever gonna get. Moving your belly with your breath calms you down. It de-stresses you. It makes you digest your food properly. This is gold. And that is the basics of this yoga breath. Secondly, breathe through the nose. So when we breathe through the mouth, actually a lot of scientific research has shown that you are going to be less healthy. You're going to have higher blood pressure, maybe even move into hypertension. You are going to have higher chance of sleep apnea, bad sleep, less rest, all that thing. You're going to have a lower exchange of CO2 and oxygen in your body. And that's a whole lot of health benefits that goes with an adequate exchange of CO2 and oxygen in your body. I will not go into that here, but there's a great book named Breathe by James Nesbitt. I really recommend everybody reading it. That's a good start of understanding breath. And so breathing through your nose will actually lower your blood pressure. It will give you better rest. You'll have healthier teeth. All these health benefits. And it might feel, if you're not used to breathing through the nose, it might feel difficult, like you're not getting enough air. You are. Trust me, go with me. Last one, slow your breath down. Often when people say, take a deep breath, it's like, and then they fill up their upper chest and they're like, and that's how I often see people who haven't practiced yoga. They think that's deep breathing. Slowing down your breath means you're extending the time it takes to inhale and exhale. So instead of, you go, I need to breathe out again now. And then exhale. So you see, that took a lot more time. That's what we want. So even when we are working hard, and we will be in a couple of weeks, you're going to try and stay with this slow breath. So keep that in mind. I'm going to slow my breath down, kind of overriding my body's instincts. So the reason we want to slow our breath down, and again, I'm going to come back to science, but this is where science combined beautifully with yoga, because it was actually it was proclaimed by Tibetan monks like a couple of thousand years ago, that a breath should be, I think it actually said 6 seconds, but we're going to go with 5.5 seconds, that the breath should be 5.5 second inhale and 5.5 second exhale. And that is the perfect breath. Now, come forward to the 21st century, and scientists actually find out that that 5.5 second breath is the perfect exchange of oxygen and CO2 in your body. So that means that you are cleaning out all like the dark, the old cells and old oxygen cells and CO2. You're clearing that out of your body. And when you do that, you are actually creating the worst possible environment for cancer to grow in, because cancer loves growing in these like old little pockets of of old CO2 leftovers, and you are removing that from them. Now, I'm not saying you're never going to get cancer if you breathe through your nose deep and make it 5.5 second inhale and exhale, but I am saying that you're creating an environment that is not perfect for cancer cells to grow in. So that's good. We want to do that. All right, now I want to get to it now, but that's enough nerding out from Nina today. Anyway, I want to start out on our backs. And the reason I want to do that is exactly because, as I showed you before, if you're not used to breathing into your belly, your tendency will be like, I'm going to take a deep breath, and you're going to sway back. And you're not going to breathe like a balloon. You're just going to create space in your front. And that's not what we want. So I want you to come down on your back. You can have your knees bent, feet flat on the ground. Just let your knees come together. I want you to be nice and relaxed. Just have a natural curve in your back or in your spine. And then I want you to start breathing through your nose. And as you inhale, expand your belly, but also feel that expansion coming into your back and into your sides. And this is why I want you on your back, because I'm preventing you from swaying back. You've got a nice neutral spine, and also it's a little bit easier here to actually feel the expansion coming in. So as you inhale, feel the expansion happening in between your shoulder blades, in between those back ribs. I just want you to lie here and breathe through your nose. And close your eyes. And I want you to start counting as you inhale, and counting as you exhale. So you're not breathing hard, you're breathing very soft. It's a soft inhale because you want it to take as much time as possible with it, aiming for that 5.5 seconds. If you can hear some snoring in the background, it's my dog. She's practicing her yoga breath. And also feel the expansion into your sides, in between those side ribs. And it might help to put a hand on your belly and physically feel the belly expand and the belly sink down towards the mat. And then take your knees into your chest, give yourself a hug, curl into a little ball, and then roll up to seated. And you're going to come into what in yoga is known as Sukhasana, translated from Sanskrit, easy pose. In normal outside of yoga world, crisscross applesauce. So this is called easy pose. And I want you to sit up nice and tall. And when nice and tall, remember, I don't mean swaying. I want lengthen. And then I want you to try and repeat what you just did on your back. Make sure your shoulders are nice and relaxed. Your shoulder blades are softly sliding down your back. You're sitting on your sit bones. Same slow nasal breathing. And again, maybe put a hand on your belly. Just feel the actual movement. And keep doing this as long as you want. And a nice little, actually meditation exercise is to keep counting in your head as you breathe. You might notice that just from these couple of minutes of breathing, you feel a little bit more relaxed, a little bit more calm. And it's really great if you can make this part of your daily routine. And it might be part of your yoga practice. It might be you wake up in the morning and you're just going to take 2 minutes, 5 minutes to breathe. Make sure that you are breathing healthily, just to really set that foundation. This is a foundation for a healthy life overall. So this is first lesson. I hope you have a great day. Tomorrow we are going to touch on the ultimate breathing stress buster. And we're going to talk about what to do if it feels like you just can't get that breath all the way down in your belly. It might be caused because you have a weak diaphragm. And I'm going to give you a little exercise on that. I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you. Namaste.